What is up? Welcome into Driving the Line College World Series edition version. I don't even know at this point. My name is Alan Bell. It's good to be with you here. We're going to break down everything that we need to know for Texas A&M versus Kentucky tonight in the winners bracket here. Now, before we jump into that, and well, quite frankly, it's going to show the picks too. We put them up here for anybody that wants to get in, get out, get ready for the game. We go 1-2. In NC State and Florida. Man, we hit the Florida first five, team total over 2.5. How we did not get the over 9.5 beyond me, man. Runs just died there at the end. We were looking good. It was 4-3 early in that game, but it's all right. It's baseball. It's college baseball. We don't have too many losing games. I think that's only two. Like it's gonna happen. It's all right. I mean, it's 1-2. We're gonna be all right. Yeah, Justin. Yeah, Florida plus 1,000 still alive. Okay, so all right, let me get it. Let me say the picks real quick, and then you bring up a point that I want to talk about here. And again, anybody who wants to get the picks, jump in, jump out, I totally get it. You don't have to stay around. Sit here. We're going to chop it up, talk about this game, break down the win, break down the stadium, break down the lineups, all of that. But our picks, and I'll pull this back up here full screen. So we're going to go Texas A&M money line minus 130. We also have A&M Kentucky over 9.5. You might be able to get that 8.5. If you can do it. Good job. You know what? That was the difference in the previous game. 8.5 cash, 9.5 did not. So it did a 5-4. We're going to add one. So those two were from earlier today. We're going to add Texas A&M first 7 team total over 3.5 runs at plus 100. If you cannot get first 7 from your book, I believe that the Texas A&M, like the full game team total is 4.5. I'm with it. Honestly, I'm with it there. Which, if you believe in that, also go take a look because I almost added Texas A&M race to 5 runs. I think that is plus money as well. I think it's like plus 120 or something like that. So if you think that A&M scores 5 runs, not a bad play there, right? But I didn't want to load up too much on the show on one side. So yeah, so A&M money line minus 130 from earlier, over 9.5 from earlier, and then we were adding Texas A&M first 7 team total over 3.5 at plus 100. Okay, let me bring myself up here because two things. Justin, I'm gonna get right back at you of what you just said because it fits it exactly to what Tizzle just said. Ryan Prager, starting pitcher for Texas A&M, is a beast. An absolute beast, left-hander that can throw. He's got numerous pitches. He is one of the best in the country, man. He is fantastic. Now, not that Kentucky can't hit him. He's been hit for sure. Good Oregon. But he usually doesn't have bad game after bad game after bad game. He got yanked early in that one. They obviously ended up winning. They came back, on the 7th. But he's hittable. But when he's on, like, same thing we talked about Sunday for North Carolina versus Tennessee with Drew Beam. He was due for a massive game, and he brought it. Prager could do the same thing. He could absolutely do the same thing. So let's go ahead and pull up the pitchers here on both sides so that we can break those down. So as we said here, all right, Ryan Prager, left-hander, 3.10 ERA. There you go, 8-1 on the year, 87 innings pitched, giving up 73 hits, 34 runs, 30 earned runs, only 19 walks, 114 strikeouts. Your boy can absolutely bring it, man. So Tizzle, it's a good call on that one. On the opposite side, all right, Mason Moore for Kentucky. I thought they were going to go a different direction here, but they're going to go Mason Moore, right-hander, 4.93 ERA, 9-3 on the year. Same innings, basically pitched 87.2, 74 hits, 53 runs, 48 earned runs given. That number right beside it, 51 walks. Okay, flip back here to Prager. 19 walks, 51 walks. We spoke about it on the morning show that walks could seriously play into this game. And if you didn't see the morning show, here's a stat for you. Texas A&M is the number 1 team in the country of drawing walks. Their hitters can do it all day long. They've done it all season long. They do not have to get hits. They are going to make you bring it. They can mash you too. So that is absolutely your key, the first one to watch tonight. when you look at the two pitching matchups against said offensive lineups. Walks, specifically Kentucky. Texas A&M is a team very similar to Tim Corbin's Vanderbilt teams over the years, to where they will go station to station, manufacture runs, and they will continue to do it. It might be one run an inning, but that adds up and adds up and adds up and adds up. And then they always have a big inning, always somewhere in the game. Again, it's going to be a heck of a game. I can't wait to watch it. Here's the other question, too. So, Tizzle, back to you. All right. Hold on, let's see. Nicodemus says, would you want to parlay with the FSU game at all since that money line is out? Florida State, North Carolina? Hell yes. You know what? I'll do that right after the show. Yes. Because now, when you get into these second elimination games, dude, pitching is almost going out the window. Now, North Carolina has good arms. But, dude, you start scoring runs, they're out of options. And I don't know if North Carolina can play in that game. If Florida State is just doing its thing, like, Nicodemus, that is a hell of a question. You're spot on there. Everett says, thoughts about no run first inning. My man Jeff says A&M over 1.5 runs first 3. Okay, so again, these are difficult because so the first inning, no runs. Yeah, I unless something big happens, I don't see Kentucky scoring. And A&M, unless it's a walk fest, I don't see one of them hitting a bomb. I mean, they could. Yeah, I dig that one. Jeff, over 1.5 runs, first 3 plus 120. I don't hate it. Now, here's the deal, though. It's just so difficult. That's why I went 7. And I almost went 5 because that's plus money as well. But it still scares me. You know what I mean? Let me say, I don't hate the play. But, to get 2 runs, you just have to have a lot of stuff go your way. You know what I mean? So, again, I don't hate it, but there's a reason why I went 7 innings instead of 3. Okay, so real quick, let me get back to it. Justin. So, okay, number 1, you're correct. The Florida plus 1,000. Number 2, Florida's not going to go away. And they didn't even get a good, outing from Caglianone. Here's the deal. Projecting out from this game here, Texas A&M and Kentucky. If Texas A&M loses this game, do you want to play Florida twice in 3 days? I don't know. I mean, A&M's good enough to beat anybody at any time. I'm not saying that, but Florida kind of probably should have had you in that game. They had a chance. I don't know. And then if you're Kentucky, I mean, you're getting down, you would be getting down to having no arms, and that's Kentucky's, advantage. Just keep an eye on whoever loses this game. That could be fascinating, man. I don't know which matchup I'd rather bet on. Probably Kentucky, but I don't know, man. That'd be tough. No idea. Dude, I don't either. I mean, this guy's been a stud for a minute. And he hits the ball hard as hell. Every time, even when he hits singles, man, he hits rockets, dude. I'm 1,000% with you on that one. Thinking Florida State. Dude, that would be dope. All right. Florida State, obviously they've got a road to get to, but if Florida State beats North Carolina tomorrow, and then they beat Tennessee in game 1, all the pressure's on Tennessee. That's the perfect Florida State style. If you're a Florida State, if you're a Florida State fan or just like betting on Florida State, right? Get through North Carolina, obviously, one game at a time. But if you get that first game against Tennessee, Florida State mashes when they have no pressure. That's their style. Yeah, keep an eye on that, man. Keep an eye on that. Jeff, yeah. Well, and look, man, Jeff, I'm with the bet, the first 3. It's just so tough. You could have everything go your way, and then like a double play kills you. It's brutal. Like it's just, oh, it hurts. I've done it so many times. You know what I mean? I'm sure we all have too. But yeah. Now that I say that, A&M's gonna score like 7 runs in the first inning. But no, man, for sure. He said the white Otani. He is, dog. He is. Gaglio's a beast, man. For sure. Dude, we were all over the home run props, though. We nailed those, man. I mean, Cags, like we said, like he's Aaron Judge, dude. It's not even fair picking him. But Mac hit one. Shellnut got one. I still can't believe we didn't get that over. Like, oh, man. We should have had 2 out of 3 on that one for sure. All right. So Mark said bro, yeah. Gags don't give a damn about any win, dude. Like, and that ball didn't even move. Did you see early in the game, like those fly balls where they were literally moving from right field to left? And Cags was like, nah, I'm just gonna fire this rocket, son. That's what he does, man. He's a beast. All right, so let me go back to this here real quick. So, okay, anybody coming in? We had 2 plays from earlier, Texas A&M money line in the over 9.5. Might be 8.5 at your book. Awesome. 8.5, 9.5 was the difference in the previous game. We added Texas A&M first 7 innings team total over 3.5 at plus 100. Now let's talk about the wind real quick. So this is the graphic from earlier, but you see how we had a little bit of the wind going from right field to left, and it was like straight, like through the outfield, and then it would kind of curve a little bit right, which helped us. The wind is slightly gone left, right? Like instead of, if you see that point right there in left field where the foul pole would be, it's going left. You know what I mean? So, it's not a huge difference, but could be. Could be. That said, though, I mean, let's take a look at these teams here in regards to their numbers on the year. A&M 132 home runs, Kentucky 84. All right, so you look at the batting averages: A&M 300, Kentucky 287. Last 5 game 2s, 2 and 3, 4. A&M has given up runs as of late. Now, you're playing in the regionals and super regionals, like you're playing against good ass teams. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not saying a negative on A&M, but like they've given up runs. Now they scored a whole hell of a lot of them. They've given up too. Look at the ERAs. So we talk about Kentucky and they're pitching it's for real. However, A&M's got one of the best pitchers in the country. Prager going tonight. Ryan Prager is everything somebody wants and more, son. Coming from the left side, like he's got gas. He's got it all, dude. Ryan Prager's a beast. Runs a lap per game, 4.2. Kentucky, 5.2. So this is going to be a game. This is going to be a game again where getting to the starting pitchers early is definitely going to matter. Now, I mean, we could say that for every game, right? Like, duh. But if Prager's going long, Kentucky's in for a long day. And especially if A&M, right? If they get your boy out here, Mason Moore, if they get him out early, right-hander too, A&M could go. Yeah. So great point right here. He's gotten touched 100%. Like that. Like they had his ass out of the Oregon game, I think, in 2 innings, right? Like Prager's been hit. So it's like, okay, are you going to get masterclass Ryan Prager, which can happen at any moment, or is it just going to be kind of the same, right? Like that excellent point. You're 100% spot on. That's why, like, I'm not afraid to play the over. Like if he were coming in and just Paul Skeensing people, be like, nah, man, because A&M is going to have to score 8 of the runs, right? But I mean, Kentucky can score, but they're gonna have to go, because A&M is like that. They're a lot like Tennessee in the sense of, and Florida State, that they score 2 runs in an inning, turns into 7 runs. Like all 9 can hit, and they don't mind doing it. They have fun doing it, right? So let's take a look at the lineups real quick. So, like we said, A&M throwing the lefty Prager here, Moore for Kentucky, right-hander. So you look at A&M's lineup, about as balanced as you can get. Can't ask for more than that. Look at that. Like, what are you gonna do? That's the scary part. Like, Florida has so many stats, not only coming back, but like the young cats, like Florida. I mean, it's a powerhouse. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, like O'Sullivan, man, like got them. He's always got horses. I don't know what happened earlier in the year. Like, it's not talent. You know what I mean? Like, they've got talent. It's just tough. It's baseball, man. But Florida's here for a reason, dude. And they're gonna be they're gonna be a tough out for whoever loses this game. Yeah, so A&M's lineup, you look at it, it's as balanced as can possibly get. You look at the first four hitters all hitting over 300, and that's without one of their best hitters, if not the best hitter, broke his leg. Brutal there. So Kentucky facing the left-handed starter, right, left, right, switch, right, like balanced. Like, these are two balanced teams. NC State had a lot of lefties. These are two balanced hitting teams. Here's the fascinating part. So Kentucky's lineup is a little spread out in terms of their hitters. And I say that in a good way, right? Like, if you look at the batting averages, throughout, like, I kind of dig that, their first six, they can get after you. Like, Kentucky can score runs. It's not exactly what they do, right? They're kind of more built the Arkansas fashion, but they can score. And A&M's been giving them up. So fascinated to see that again. Pay attention to pitch counts. Pay attention to who is getting after said pitcher. If Kentucky gets after Prager early, you're not going to bring in another Prager. Like, it could get wild. But got to work counts. And especially, like, we talk about working counts. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas A&M comes out doing that. I'm not saying that they won't be aggressive, because they're an aggressive swinging team, but they're also smart. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run that pitch count up on Moore. And if you can grab a couple runs doing that, like, I mean, that's what Florida did. Like, they can get down. I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, if you don't see runs early for A&M, but you see base runners, first inning, second inning, third inning, that could pay off very quickly in the fourth, fifth, and sixth, right? So we'll see how long Mason Moore lasts in that. We'll see how long Prager lasts in that one. Look, exactly the same thing I was just talking about. If you're at A&M, if A&M loses this game, you want to play Florida twice in 3 days? When Florida, quite frankly, and that was a dominant pitching effort that A&M gave against Florida. Florida had a good one too. In an elimination, I wouldn't want to play Florida. I wouldn't want to do it, man. Let's say they pull in the starters fast to get the K prop. Yeah. So you ask an interesting question. So Mason at 4.5, Prager at 6.5. Those are pretty market efficient numbers. I would bet Prager. Because here's also another thing. And if you're A&M, not saying that you're like fully game planning this, but it's in your head, the coaching staff. If A&M wins this game, you're now starting to think of setting your pitching lineup up in case you get to the College World Series final series. I'm not saying that that's a massive thing that like they're doing, but it's in your head. I know Tennessee's thinking about it, right? Now, they've got to get through Carolina or Florida State, and they could lose, but it's in your head. So I say all that to say this, like, if you're getting innings and innings and innings out of Prager that are low pitch counts, he could go for a while. Like, the fewer the arms they use, the better. So yeah, like, I don't hate it for more, but A&M, they don't strike out a lot, man. Like they might ground out, fly out, they walk a lot. Yeah, I would probably go Prager on that one. FanDuel has total home runs for the game, 2 and 3. Okay, so this is gonna be a tough one for home runs. Kentucky doesn't hit a lot of them. A&M does. Um, man, it would be tough to go over 2. I mean, even Florida and NC State, they didn't get over it. And humidity levels have gone down. But I mean, A&M can hit 3 on their own. Kentucky can hit them. We saw it. I mean, obviously, like that's how they survived against NC State, right? Um, I don't know what the juice is. If it's anything reasonable, I would probably stay at 2, like just to protect. Like, all right, if I just win a little bit, good with that. You know what I mean? I'd rather win a little bit than lose. Let's see. Yeah, Kentucky does love small ball. Like they're a very good fundamental baseball team. The problem is their pitching. Like they can go crazy with walks. That's another thing too. Can watch this tonight. Kentucky, they're not only starters, but their entire pitching staff. When runners get on with 0 outs, 1 out, their catcher has a lot of work to do. It gets wild, right? And if you start giving up free bases, 1 or 2 to A&M, like they will make you pay for it because they're a small ball fundamental mindset team that has the power of a top 5 home run hitting team in the country. And I mean that not only home runs, but, extra base hits. Like they've got power all through that thing, man. And they don't strike out. Keep an eye on that. If that starts early, like you see past balls early, it might just be a runner going from first to second. And it might be 2 outs or something, right? They end up getting out of the inning. Okay. It's going to happen again. Like, pay attention to that because Kentucky cannot give up free runs. Cannot do it. Let's see here. Let me go over the picks one more time in case anybody is new in here. Texas A&M money line -130 and the over 9.5. We had those from the morning show. If you can get over 8.5, awesome. Great work on that. I'll play 9.5 with everyone else who doesn't have 8.5. Also, we added Texas A&M first 7 innings, team total over 3.5 at +100. You see at the bottom, postseason total. We are 33-19 in the postseason. Solid. We'll take it, right? After this game tonight, our strategy is not going to change. But tomorrow, let me just say, tomorrow could be a lot of runs. A lot of runs. Because now teams are not afraid to play and hit with the proverbial 2 strikes, like 1 loss and you're out. And pitching starts, people start bringing in starters, to go in the 7th and 8th inning. Your closer's already thrown, 3 innings, a day and a half. Like, it gets wonky, man. It gets wonky. If you are a hitting team, it very, very much plays in your favor. So starting tomorrow, start to pay attention to it, especially these teams that, they'll be going into their second elimination game. So, all right, that's where we're at here. Let's see what did Jeff say. I'm going to throw on the Mims hat backwards. Yeah, now we're talking, dude. I want to get an ocean water, too. I got to change that, too. And what's A&M's defensive ratings look like? A&M's good. Let me just say, and I'll pull the stats back up here. There's not much that A&M does that isn't great. It's not always, top 3, like in every statistical category, but it's pretty damn close. I mean, look at the ERA, right? Look at the home runs, the runs per game, runs allowed. Like, A&M doesn't beat themselves. And if their bats get hot, which they have been in every single game, seemingly the last couple weeks, ask Oregon. Like, Oregon entered the 7th inning of game 2 of the Super Regional up 8-4. They left the 7th inning down 13-8. A&M, when they start coming, because of walks. That's the problem, is that you cannot walk them. Now, you can't just groove circle changes over the middle plate because they'll put them in another state. They're a tough team to deal with. But yeah, to answer your question defensively, I mean, they're great. Like, they've had an injury, obviously very serious one, but I mean, there's not much negative to say about A&M. Really, all it would be like their starting pitching. The last couple weeks they've given up runs, Prager especially. But at any moment they can go off their pitchers, and they're just not going to give you much, man. But Kentucky plays the same style. Like literally, walks could be the difference in the game tonight, man. A&M to hit 2+ home runs, -104. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, especially if they get to Mason Moore early. Like A&M can play so many different styles. Like they could play that Vanderbilt, Kentucky small ball style of station to station. We're just going to walk and base hit you to death. Or they could get out and mash bombs. I mean, they've got 132. Like, they have almost 10 more home runs, in the regular season than Florida State did against the SEC. A&M's phenomenal, dude. Absolutely phenomenal, man. Like, they are. Florida does it to again. Dude, I know. I'm telling you, man. Like, it's just Florida's that bugaboo for us, betting-wise, right? Like, it's tough. It's brutal. Like, that's the hard part with Florida, too, is like they're obviously good enough hitting to drive overs, but they're also good enough like pitching. Like, I mean, what we saw throughout the game from Florida, like, dude, lockdown, son. Like, they get right there by that line of totals, man. It's funny, dude. So what bet am I slamming? Okay, so got 3 of you to choose from. A&M money line, over 9.5, which I think is actually 8.5. My favorite is Texas A&M first 7 innings, team total over 3.5. Now, if you want to play the full game and not mess around, I think 4.5 is. I think it's even money. I'm not sure, but it wasn't anything egregious because I almost played it. Might be -120. I don't. You'll have to check, but I think A&M. If you're looking for one play, over 3. Oh wow, went to -115. Damn, we moved that one. Texas. If I had to play one thing, it would be Texas A&M runs. I wouldn't go too crazy high, but the books aren't making you do that either. Like 4.5 for the game. Like if I had to play one, that would be it. I'm going for 7. Take a shot here, but like full game, 4.5 runs over. Money like that's going to be a tough one because here's the other thing too, is that if you do that, if you play that, because I think win or lose, A&M gets to 5 runs, 4 runs if it's first 7. Okay, you're playing it over 9.5. Like you could play them both. And if A&M gets to 5 runs, you're guaranteed that either they're going to get the money line or you're going to hit the over. Like, that's the key number that we're playing here with this, right? So it's all like, I think that like Kentucky can score, but that's the risk variable. It's like you just don't know what you're going to get. A&M's pretty damn consistent with it. even if it a game, like if they don't win, they're 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 a 6-run. Well, I mean, we saw the stats. They're actually, an 8 to 9 run team on average, right? Like 4, 5 runs is pretty solid against a right-hander for Kentucky who dishes walks. Like I think if I were looking for one specific way to play this game, it would be Texas A&M runs. Yeah. Let's see. Maddie says Kentucky team total over 3.5, a little juicy. Yeah, I agree. Like everything I just said is it's not a negative against Kentucky at all. It's just a positive. Like there was a reason coming into this that A&M, half the season they were ranked the #1 team in the country and had pretty much the same odds as Tennessee to win the entire thing. They're freaking good. Like they are. And they have no fear. If they're down 4 runs, 10, like they don't care. Like they're like, oh, we'll come back. Don't worry. But yeah, like Kentucky. Now, that's an interesting one. Like, I don't know how further I would go, like needing 4 runs. I think you can get there. Like, that's also why if you want to look at playing, if you have the race to X amount of runs, look at Texas A&M to 5 or 6. I say that and Kentucky just comes out and just has a monster day. Like, of course, but more times than not, like I wouldn't go too terribly high, but like, I hate doing like race to 2 to 3. Like Kentucky could hit a 2-run bomb out of nowhere early. But 5? Did they get to 5? I'm pretty sure Texas A&M gets to 5 runs. So there's all kinds of like the same way to play it essentially. But take a look there. Like, and let me know. Big Irish says, where are you getting team total? So I'm getting them at DraftKings. If you go to and we've ran into this problem the last couple nights of some states. Well, all states like are different, right? Like I'm on DraftKings, go to game props and innings, those 2 little sub areas there, and scroll down. But we've had issues with Maryland. We had issues with Ohio. I think Arizona. Like in Iowa, like Iowa didn't have the Florida first 7. They had like first 5 and full game. So that one's tough, man. Like that one's tough. Yeah. Texas A&M. Like, basically, what we don't need is Mason Moore for Kentucky, starting pitcher, to go crazy, like just on fire. He could have a decent middle of the road game, and I feel good about all of this. We just don't need him to be like just out of his mind, elite, like you know what I mean, like turn into Paul Skeens overnight. As long as we don't get that, like I feel pretty good. Yeah, FanDuel's tough. Like all year long, they didn't even have college baseball. They barely had it. DraftKings, BetMGM, really good. Caesars has some. ESPN Bet. I gotta give credit to ESPN. Like they don't have all the props. Like DraftKings, I think offers the most. BetMGM's right there. ESPN Bet, I give them credit. Like they stuck their head out there and will do it. But FanDuel's brutal. Like it's just absolutely brutal, man. What was that parlay Nick's brought up since tomorrow's money lines are out? Yeah. Texas A&M and Florida State. What's the if anybody's looking at it, what's the money line on Florida State? Like what if you could fire the like let me know. Yeah, Kansas only has first 5. Yeah, right? Like Iowa was the same way. They didn't have first 7. They had first 5 and then they had the full game. So first 5, I think is what 2.5. I think it plus money. Don't hate it. 5 innings is just like I think I would rather play the full game 4.5 at that point, unless the juice has just gone wild. Jared says same thing in Michigan. Man, it sucks, man. Like let me pull it up. I'll show you guys, man. And like that's minus 125 against Carolina. Carolina definitely has the pitching advantage, but I don't think it's that. They're gonna have to score a lot of runs. Yeah, I love that parlay. Yeah, I'm gonna play that. Yeah, yeah. So sorry, yeah. So A&M and Florida State, parlay there. So let's see. Oh, North Carolina is minus 105. All right, so let's see. Let me see if I can share this here. 1 second. Share screen. Okay. 1 second. Okay, so DraftKings right here. So Kentucky, you've got first 3 innings, first 5, first 7, A&M. Let me scroll down just a bit. Yep. So A&M, yeah, it did move to 115. Yeah, it did. Yeah. So that's kind of kind of what we have. At A&M first 5, 2.5, minus 105. I don't hate it. I would just, you just get worried, man. Like those early innings, like pull this back down. Those early innings can fly by, especially like third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You could get in an area where it's like it's just dead zone. It's tough, man. Yeah, Illinois, dude, that does suck, man. Like that's the part that I hate. I pitched at Florida State run through. Yeah, their bullpen's gonna be fine. Like they'll be all right. I think they had 3, 4. I think it was 3. I don't have it in front of me. Is it 3 or 4? But like, yeah, I mean, it's then it's all about direly keeping your starter in, throwing first pitch strikes, massive first pitch strikes, second pitch strikes. Do not run up pitch counts of your starting pitcher. They hit the ball, field it, right? Make them get base hits over and over and over. But if you can get your starter to last so that you can just every inning is a blessing, you know what I mean? That your starter goes. Yeah. So yeah, they're not bad. Like they'll be all right. It's going to be hitting. That's hitting defines these. Once you get to the second elimination game and beyond, you got to hit because nobody has aces going, and everyone here can hit. You've got to put up runs. Florida State can do that. No problem doing that. Arizona has it. Hell yeah. There we go. So yeah, okay. So the wind. Talk about this, and BG, I'll get right back to you. Pull it back up. So, like I said, like it's almost identical to what we had earlier, but humidity is down, and the wind, once it gets to left field, it's going a little left, just a touch, not a ton, just a touch. So home runs might not be the thing. Now, there'll be a couple, but it's about who can get runners on and who can get line drives in the gap. And buddy, Texas A&M does that better than anybody in the country. And in fact, they're the best team in the country at drawing walks against a Kentucky team and pitching staff that has been given up a massive amount of walks and wild pitches. So it might not be home runs, but keep an eye on A&M at the plate against Mason Moore for Kentucky, their pitcher, early. Get a couple runners on first, second inning. Even if they don't score, it's okay. You're running that pitch count up. And Kentucky's pitchers, when you get a runner on, they start throwing outside, right? They start trying to paint a corner. Catcher loses a ball. All right. Ball. Like A&M is deadly when they get runners on because they are so not only balanced, but patient. They are the most patient hitting team in college baseball. They are not afraid to hit with 2 strikes at all. At all. If that is playing out, like pay attention to that early. If that is playing out, A&M could go heavy and maybe have 1 home run. But we'll see. Do I think Tennessee is going all the way? If North Carolina beats Florida State, yes. If Florida State beats North Carolina, like Florida State's gonna have to beat Tennessee twice. Tennessee's only lost back-to-back games once this year, and that was in the first weekend of SEC play against Alabama at Alabama. Tennessee don't lose twice in a row. But, buddy, this ain't the regular season either. Like, if Florida State wins game 1, all the pressure's on Tennessee. All of it. All of it. And that is frightening against a Florida State team because they love that. Like, when they have no pressure, everybody hits and mashes. But I think Tennessee's got a pretty damn good shot to do it. This Tennessee team is doing the same thing they've done all year. They haven't changed anything. Like, they are ungodly balanced. And when the party starts, when they're hitting, oh, good luck. Good luck. So, yeah, I think that I think Tennessee gets to the championship series. Do they win it? Who knows? We'll see who comes out that side. If you got A&M, I'm interested. What if? How many do we have a team that goes undefeated in the championship series? We have 2 teams that go undefeated. I might not have any, but they'll start like these teams that are 2-0. They'll, 1-0, whatever. Like they're thinking about how they're going to set their pitching staff up. LSU did it with Paul Skeens last year, the championship game. And as against Florida, right? They're like, we'll start our closer because we think we can hit you. We think we can get a couple runs. We don't know if you can hit our closer, especially at the beginning of the game. Then we'll use Skeens in the 3rd inning on as the closer. Like, there are so many ways that you can go about doing things. Now, nobody has a Paul Skeens, but who knows, man? But, yeah, I think they got a really damn good shot. Tennessee, last I saw, was actually like minus 105. But that was because they had 2 wins, and A&M hasn't played their second game. Like, if A&M wins this game, like, I don't know what it is, but A&M's probably what, plus 150, plus 200? Like, if A&M wins tonight, like, Tennessee will probably go back to plus, or they'll just drop A&M. Like, A&M will come back close right there. Nicodemus said, went to Tennessee, can't bet. Bro, I feel you. Like, dude, I feel you. And you know what? There's a reason why number 1 seeds in the College World Series haven't won. This is a tough-ass tournament. Really good baseball teams. And, I mean, everybody here has played ball, been around ball, watched ball. Like, Tennessee does not want to play a game 2 against North Carolina or Florida State. Mostly Florida State, right? If A&M loses tonight, I don't know if I want to play Florida again because Florida has nothing to lose. Ooh, yeah. This is where it gets fun. Jared, plus 205 A&M. Okay, yeah. So if A&M wins, watch that number. Like, if you want to bet A&M, this is the best number that you're going to get. Well, never mind. If they lose tonight, you get a better number. But obviously, you're facing a tougher road. If you think A&M's going to win it all, and you think they're going to win tonight, like this is the best number you're going to get. Pouch says FanDuel dropped back to 8.5. Such a low number. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. But Christ, man. Yeah. Well, I think that's it. All right, let me hit these picks one last time. Then we'll get out of here. Game's about to start. Texas A&M money line minus 130. Texas A&M, Kentucky over 9.5. If you get 8.5, great job, well done. And then Texas A&M first 7 innings team total over 3.5 at plus 100. If you can't get the first 7, like you only have like first 5 or like full game, I don't know exactly what the juice is right now, exactly on full game over 4.5. I think I would play that. I think I would play that because if they get 3 runs in the first 5 innings, they probably get 2 more. But I say that Florida did it. NC State didn't. So we'll see. But NF should get some runs tonight. Yeah. All right, we'll get out of here. Game's about to start. Everybody, again, can't thank you all enough. I love rolling with you guys on this. And we've got more games tomorrow. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We'll keep doing it before every single one of them. So as you guys did in here, like when you see these things start to come out, jot them down, put them out on Twitter, or just, save it for in here, and we'll get down. You know what I mean? So look forward to it. Dude, y'all are the best. I'm telling you, man. The absolute best. Now, I've got to get you back for that 1 and 2 shiznit I just gave you right there. I still can't believe we didn't get. Should have had 2 out of 3, but it's college baseball, man. We're going to have games where we go 1 and 2. It's all right. It's all right. We'll get it back. So, everybody, all right. Best of luck, man. Let's cash these damn tickets. Talk during the game. We'll see you in the morning. Peace.